welcome you to Baseball Night in America, and we welcome you to Denver outside Coors Field as the fans make their way in. It's game 2 of a 3-game series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. Well, the Rockies are atop the National League West, half game better than Arizona. The Dodgers come in 3 games back in a bunched up NL West. We welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Eric Karros. And today, Eric, we've got a matchup where the leader in the National League West is matched up against a team that is perhaps the hottest team right now in the National League West.
Well, you look at the Dodgers in their last 15, they're 11-4. You go back to May 16th, and this division was upside down. The Dodgers were at the bottom. Arizona was at the top. But now things have changed. Colorado has taken the division lead. The Dodgers, they're trying to claim what they've had the last 5 years, and that is a National League West division crown.
Now we take a look at the LA Dodgers starting lineup. It is Chris Taylor who will lead it off. He is at shortstop with Justin Turner at third base. Yasmani Grandal does the catching. Matt Kemp in left. Cody Bellinger at first with Jock Pederson in center. Yasiel Puig in right with Breivik Valera getting the start at second base. He bats 8th. And Walker Buehler will bat out of the 9th spot and do the pitching today for LA. Here is Chris Taylor to lead it off, and German Marquez with the first pitch of the afternoon. It's in there for strike 1. Look at German Marquez, who makes his 12th start of the year.
Yeah, Marquez, he's been a little shady at home this year. Now, his last start against the Reds, he threw extremely well. That's what Bud Black and these Rockies are looking for him to build off of. Well, you see Marquez, he's got to work quicker. What that means, just get the ball and go. Don't be so deliberate. Be ready means you got to come out and pitch ready to go in this first inning. He has an ERA of almost 11.5 this year in 11 starts in this first inning.
In there for the high strike at 97. He has that too. Pretty good velocity.
Well, the stuff is crazy. When you're just talking about, you know, the velocity, the break on the curve, the slider, all that stuff, it's outstanding.
Chris Taylor goes chasing and strikes out. Good start for Marquez. 1 down. Let's check out defensively for the Rockies, brought to you by Bright House Financial. Left to right, it's Parra, Blackmon, and Gonzalez in the outfield. And a vast outfield it is here at Coors Field. Nolan Arenado at third with Trevor Story at short. DJ LeMahieu back at second, just his second game back. Ian Desmond at first, and Tony Walters does the catching.
The fewest errors in the National League with only 18. Quite a defensive ball club.
And it is a huge outfield here at Coors Field. A lot of acreage to cover.
No, it really is. It's expansive, and people talk about the ball flying out of here. Well, the real advantage is all the area you have to hit as an offensive player.
Now, one of the keys to this Dodgers run right now is the return of this guy, Justin Turner. You lose him in spring training. He's back, and just his presence alone has been huge for Dave Roberts.
Well, I think you hit it on the head. That the presence is what speaks volumes. It's not just what he does on the field, but in the clubhouse, spending time with other guys. But again, you put him in this lineup and it lengthens it.
We'll send one out towards right center. Charlie Blackmon moves over and under. Battles the sun a tad, but handles out number 2. So a strikeout and a flyout and a good start from Marquez. As you said, certainly this first inning is huge for him, especially at home.
Yeah, relatively speaking, this is outstanding right now for him. He's had all kinds of trouble in the first inning. As we mentioned, almost an ERA of 11.5, but 18 hits. He's given up 4 home runs and still got 1 more out to get.
First pitch swinging is Grandal, and he fouls it back to the screen. Yasmani Grandal batting 3rd in this order. It's a banged up order. It's a banged up team, especially from a pitching perspective. And the announcement yesterday that Clayton Kershaw headed back on the DL again. So that's when Dave Roberts thinks things are turning around here from a health perspective. They lose him again.
It kind of feels like it's one thing after another, but one thing this Dodger ball club does have is depth. And it's because of, you know, look at the economics that the Dodger organization provides. It allows them to be able to accumulate players. So when somebody goes down, they can replace him with another big leaguer.
swing and a miss, and some kind of start for Marquez. Strikes out 2 in the inning. A 1-2-3 first. The Rockies are coming up. LeMahieu be making his way playward here momentarily as we check out the starting 9 for Bud Black. DJ LeMahieu at second base at 4 hits in last night's game in his return. Charlie Blackmon's in center. Nolan Arenado at third base with Carlos Gonzalez in right. Trevor Story at short. Gerardo Parra in left with Ian Desmond at first base. Tony Walters does the catching, batting 8th. And German Marquez out of the 9 spot with Walker Buehler off to a fantastic start.
Well, fantastic start indeed, and really he has been the anchor of this staff. He and Ross Stripling. Dynamite arm, electric arm, off-speed stuff is developing, and a heck of a competitor.
3-1 coming in with a nifty 2.20 earned run average. Check out his scouting report.
So throwing slower, he can get it up to 97, 98 miles an hour, but Dave Roberts telling us beforehand, if he's at 94, 95, much better control. In his last 2 starts, 14 strikeouts, no walks at all.
DJ LeMahieu, a 4 for 5 night last night, returned from the DL and tied a career high with that 4-hit output, just shy of 300. And the batting title the year before last, and fouls this one to the screen.
Yeah, him coming back. Look, this offense has not been the prototypical Rockies offense. In the last couple of years, they lead the National League in runs each of the years at the finish, but this year they're 6th, 7th in the National League. It's not typical.
On the ground towards second, and Valera races in and takes care of LeMahieu. Let's check out the Dodgers defensively. Defensive lineup sponsored by Bright House Financial. Left to right in the outfield, it is Matt Kemp, Jock Pederson, and Yasiel Puig. Third to first, Justin Turner, Chris Taylor. Rayvick Valera just made that play, and Cody Bellinger at first base. Yasmani Grandal does the catching. Max Muncy, who started at first base last night, a little bit under the weather today. And of course, Yasiel Puig manning right field out there. You never know what you're going to get from Yasiel.
Well, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get an effort. And I'll tell you what, defensively, he has been as exciting a player to watch as anyone in baseball.
The other corner now taken up by Matt Kemp, who's had a terrific year with the Dodgers. His return.
Yeah, he really has shown a new maturation and, coming to play every single day.
Charlie Blackmon threw the shift into right center field. And Blackmon has got very good speed, is aboard here with 1 down in the first inning. The keys to the game sponsored by the Lincoln Motor Company.
Buehler's got to give them innings. In the last 2 ball games, they've had to get to the Dodger bullpen. 6 pitchers pitched yesterday. The prior night 5. Kenley Jansen not available today. Marquez, he got through that first inning, and he has to be good at home. And it's one of those things. He threw well against the Reds in his last outing. And just as the Dodgers bullpen has been taxed, this Rockies bullpen, they need a break.
Nolan Arenado homered last night, picked up his 12th home run of the year. In the MVP conversation, it seems yearly. 321 average, 12 homers, and 35 runs batted in. Leads the National League. OPS. See the center fielder Jock Pederson well over into right center. And a grounder up the middle into left center field for Arenado. Blackmon is headed to third. He'll get there without a problem. And the Rockies have runners at the corners with 1 down in the last of the first inning.
You see this pitch over the inner part of the plate. Grandal wanted it outside. Arenado just finds a hole, shoots it up the middle. But he's been dynamite at home. I mean, you look at his home road splits, and you know he's got Hall of Fame numbers at home career-wise, and one of the best young players in all of baseball.
First and third, 1 down. It brings up Carlos Gonzalez. 261 average coming in, and a 308 hitter in his career against the Dodgers. And Blackmon at third, and Arenado across the diamond at first. 1 down here in the last of the first.
Well, Buehler has had success this year, but this is his first time pitching in Colorado. Obviously, historically, this has not been a great place to pitch.
Gonzalez will pop it up over by the Dodgers dugout, and into the slide goes Grandal, but out of his reach and into that dugout.
Well, you've got the shadows at home plate right now, and anytime you have shadows, very tough to pick up spin. So you would think, well, let's start calling some curveballs or sliders. But remember the altitude you're at, and you're not going to get the break. You're not going to get the type of rotation that you normally get. So we're getting a lot of fastballs. Like I said, with those shadows, man, not great, but still enough where that off-speed stuff could be an issue for a hitter.
Carlos Gonzalez riding a 5-game hitting streak coming in, hitting at .500, 11 for his last 22. And we'll send this one in the air to left field. Matt Kemp getting himself ready. So's Blackmon at third. Kemp makes the catch. Here comes Blackmon. Plate work. The throw's going to be close, and Blackmon is out at the plate. Matt Kemp with an assist from left field. So a double play will end this first inning, and Matt Kemp, a rejuvenated career in LA.
Well, Matt Kemp making this throw, gets behind the ball. He sets his feet up, comes through the fly ball, and has his momentum moving towards home plate. That enables him to make that strong throw. Again, Matt Kemp, not a great arm, but because he fundamentally did what he needed to do, able to make a great play.
First outfield assist for Matt Kemp of the year. And he leads it off here in the second inning. It's Kemp, Bellinger, and Pederson featured in the inning after German Marquez at a 1-2-3 first with 2 strikeouts. How about Kemp off to a .341 start, 8 homers, 31 runs driven in, and he's exactly what the Dodgers have needed. Kind of wondered whether he would be on the team when the team started coming out of spring training. Not only is he on the team, but he's playing every day, largely because of the number of injuries they've had, but he's also played great and came into spring training in fantastic shape and really has turned his career around here and has returned to LA.
Well, when that trade was made, basically a salary swap with the Braves, Adrian Gonzalez, that allowed the Dodgers some payroll flexibility.
Send to right, and Kemp has got a base hit, first base runner to reach for the Dodgers.
I should say salary cap relief. I don't think anybody thought that he would even make it to spring training. And I know Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman, they had conversations with Matt, told him exactly what the situation looked like. Matt Kemp took it upon himself to come to camp proving something, proving that he could still play this game, proving that he's dedicated to this organization. And he has done nothing to disappoint.
Cody Bellinger will drive this towards center field. Plenty of room for Charlie Blackmon. His vast outfield at Coors Field, and that's out number 1. As Kemp back to the bag at first, and Bellinger's retired.
You know, getting back with Matt Kemp, it's not just been his production. I mean, yes, some guys have got hurt, but he's been very consistent, about 330, 340 the first month. And then the last month of May, the same thing. He's been a help in the clubhouse. Again, I don't think the Dodgers ever could have imagined this is what they were getting.
There's Jock Pederson, who gets a start in center field for LA today. And he lines one towards right center field. That's going to get down. Over to cut it off is Blackmon as Kemp is headed for third. He'll be stopped there on the double by Jock Pederson. And the Dodgers have runners at second and third with 1 away.
Well, Jock Pederson wasting no time jumping on that first pitch fastball right down the middle. He drives this to the gap. Matt Kemp easily gets to third base. See, Matt reads it. He knows he's going to get out there.
So second and third, 1 out. And all of a sudden Marquez, who had a 1-2-3 first, a little tougher second inning, and now he's got to deal with Yasiel Puig.
Puig, a career high in hits last night, right? 4, I believe.
4 in last night's game.
Yeah.
Softly grounded towards short. Story is going to go to first. Run's going to score as Kemp comes in from third, and the Dodgers strike first on top 1-0. Now Puig will pick up an RBI as Kemp comes from third. Pederson will take third, and LA on top 1-0.
That is a productive at bat, though, and some people say, oh geez, ground ball, and maybe not happy with it. But today's day and age, when guys are up there swinging for the fence and trying to launch things, and strikeouts are okay. A strikeout would not have been okay in that situation right there. It's a productive at bat. Now, say it, last night the Dodgers had 3 sacrifice flies. That's a runner on third, hit a fly ball, score them. Now, if they strike out, do they score? No.
Vic Valera, the second baseman, carving it foul to the screen. Just an 0.83 average for Valera coming in. Has not had a lot of time. He's just 1 for 12. Right side, and that's going to get through. In from third comes Jock Pederson, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead. Breivik Valera just had 1 hit on the season, and he's got an RBI single through the right side.
Now he just shoots this thing just between first and second. see LeMahieu makes a valiant effort. You know, I'm going to go back to this is all emanating, I believe, though, from the Matt Kemp throw. You know, you get all the momentum, you throw the guy to the plate, you're fired up, and then you come out and you continue that momentum, put 2 runs on the board.
There is Walker Buehler, the pitcher. A couple hits in his young career, 2 for 15 to start the year, and 133 average coming in. So they get to Marquez here for 2 quick runs in the second inning. 25th pitch of his outing coming up here through an inning and 2/3. And a productive night already for Matt Kemp, defensively and offensively. Valera at first base, his first major league RBI. Held on over there by Ian Desmond, and they're looking into the sun. Buell waves at that, strikes out, but the damage done. The Dodgers get a pair at the top of the second, lead it 2-0. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser. Back in Denver, where the Dodgers have a 2-0 advantage. And the double play that ended last inning, the throw from left field from Kemp, as they're able to gun down the runner at the plate, and Charlie Blackmon to end the first. And he's part of a 2-run second inning offensively, and LA on top 2-0. Trevor Story gets it started here in the bottom of the second inning for the Rockies. Story, Parra, and Desmond to face Buehler here in the second. 11 home runs for the Rockies shortstop on the year. A little bloop to shallow right. Puig was deep, and he's not going to get there. Falls in front of him. Story with a wide turn at first, but he'll retrace his steps to the bag at first. And the ball is just dumped into short right with Puig backed up and right.
You know, we talk about this huge outfield, and as you mentioned, Puig playing deep. There's no chance right here. Smartly stops so he doesn't overrun it. Pick it up barehanded, flip it in.
Lead runner on for the Rockies, and it brings up Gerardo Parra.
Parra got Buehler for a home run in LA last week. It went out to the left center. Rockies ended up winning that game 2-1.
Parra coming off a tremendous May in which he had 329 in the month. 10th highest average in the National League. Starts with that very open stance, but generally closes it up when the pitch is on the way in.
Almost the left-handed version of a former Rocky here, Andres Galarraga.
It's pop up into shallow left, and it's got Kemp coming in and under. Will stagger, but he makes the catch for the first out of the second inning. So far, the Rockies have been very aggressive in dealing with Walker Buehler, swinging early in counts here against him, not letting him get ahead for the most part.
Well, they figure they're going to get a fastball. Buehler's going to try to establish the at-bat, try and work ahead as most pitchers do. And again, we have to remember this is Buehler's first start in Colorado. He's going to have to acclimate himself to everything this ballpark brings.
How much can this park psych you out as a pitcher for the first time?
Well, I don't know how damaging it can be for a pitcher, but I know as a hitter you feel like you're invincible. So I would think that you know, as a pitcher you're just thinking, man, okay, gotta just try and limit the damage as best I can. See, he was a stud at Vanderbilt, top pitcher there, the first-round pick. Ironically, a first-round pick, and the Dodgers knew that he would have to have Tommy John surgery, and that was one of the contingencies. We'll take you in the first round, but you got to have the surgery. That's how much they thought of him. They were right.
He's been a savior for the Dodgers, really, without Clayton Kershaw. All the injuries they've had in the rotation, he's been the one go-to guy. You mentioned Ross Stripling also.
Yeah, he and Ross Stripling have really saved him. Strip on the right, Rich Hill on the left.
Current blister problem for Rich Hill.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the Dodgers, you know, I don't think anybody in the rest of the league cares, but you know, they've lost 4/5 of their starting rotation. Corey Seager out for the year.
And Desmond will grounded foul down by the tarp area. Days spent on the DL. And Kershaw 29, Rich Hill, we were just talking about at 36. Kenta Maeda just going on to the DL, adding to the list, and Ryu has been there for a month. Makes it tough to operate, really. They're just trying to stay above water right now. And 27 and 30 heading into today's action. 3 games back of the Rockies, and victorious last night. Nice pick by Bellinger at first base and throwing the dirt into the sun.
As the Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda used to say, you know, when you've got problems like that, you know, 50% of the people don't care, and the other 50% are happy that you have them.
2-2, and that's ball 3. Both starters operating at 97 miles an hour in the velocity. As Tony Walters waits on deck right now for the Rockies. Runner goes. Desmond will take ball 4. And the Rockies will have runners at first and second with 1 down. First free pass served up by Walker Buehler.
Well, this Rocky offense has been a lot better as of late. Getting double-digit base hits in multiple games. You know, Bud Black saying, you know, talking to him before the game, you know, is this offense where you think it'll be? No, it's going to get better. Is the bullpen where you want it to be? I like the pieces. You know, right now we're a little banged up, but I'm content. Is the starting pitching there? You know, everybody would like another starter, but he really feels strongly about this team. And look, they're in first place, and there's no question that they're going to compete all year long.
Tony Walters getting the start today behind the dish. He bats 8th and bats here with Rockies runners at first and second and 1 away. Takes a look at strike 1. Buehler coming in individually at 3-1 with a 2.20 earned run average. His 8th start of the year. On the ground and into right field for a base hit. Trevor Story is going to be waved around. Puig is throwing homeward, and Story will be safe at the plate. On the board are the Rockies. Desmond takes third on the RBI single by Tony Walters. It's now 2-1 LA.
So this ball hit pretty well, but Puig needs to know who's on second base, what the situation is early in the ball game. You want to keep that double play in order. Now, granted, Marquez probably would be up here bunting if there was just a runner on first. But again, this place here, Arizona, Colorado, you do not want to put runners in scoring position, give the other team opportunities to score.
Marquez, the pitcher, swinging away here with second and third, and strike 1.
Well, and that's what, by letting the runner get to second base, now you're allowing Marquez to swing the bat. If that runner was at first, my guess is Marquez would have been bunting.
Swings away again, and a 98-mile-an-hour fastball running away. Buehler has been touched for a run here in the second inning and not out of the jam yet with only 1 out. We're talking to Bud Black about the construction of this lineup. Last year, Charlie Blackmon, of course, winning the batting title and doing so as a leadoff hitter. DJ LeMahieu won it the year before last, and it's where they like to hit pretty much in this order, so he just goes with it and lets LeMahieu lead it off with Blackmon batting second. It's where they're comfortable. To center field, and Jock Pederson getting himself ready. He'll make the catch as Desmond will not go, as it turns out. That would have been close, I think. He elected not to go and stays at third. That's out number 2 on the catch by Pederson in center.
So that I like that from a Rockies standpoint, because you got DJ LeMahieu coming up to the plate right now. You've got an opportunity with a base hit, 2-run score. I'm not so sure that Desmond would have been able to score on that. Pederson got himself into a good situation. You've already had a runner thrown out at home. I take my chances with LeMahieu up at the plate.
So second and third, 2 down, and here is LeMahieu. And hovering around 300 and just back from the DL. Grounded out to second base in the first inning. Second time through now for Walker Buehler, this Rockies lineup. And on the DL twice this year has LeMahieu, strained right hamstring. And down to the count, 0-2. That was 99 for you.
It's getting it up there a little bit, right? That's, you're 0-2. You've just thrown 2 fastballs by him. I think he come back with another fastball, probably elevated a bit.
Desmond at third, Walters at second with 2 down, a run in. And LeMahieu sprays it down the right field line, headed foul.
That was 99 again, but that was low and in the zone. Again, a low fastball, easier to get to. Higher pitch, obviously more difficult as a hitter. Usually can't catch up to those. Again, I'd go with a high fastball, just a bit out of the zone. See if LeMahieu chases.
It's an 0-2 again. Trying to get him to chase. He does not. The alignment here on LeMahieu. They got Jock Pederson, the center fielder, over towards right center. And they got Matt Kemp, the left fielder, well off the line and left. They're playing for LeMahieu to go the other way.
What was that? Torey Lovullo last year, I believe, with Arizona. I mean, he basically took the left fielder out of the equation with LeMahieu up.
Two and two. On deck, Charlie Blackmon, although there are 2 outs here in the second inning. Really the toughest part of this Rockies order. LeMahieu, Blackmon, and Arenado. Top 3 in the Rockies order. On the ground down the third baseline, a fair ball. Desmond will score. Here comes Walters. It'll be a 2-run double for DJ LeMahieu, and the Rockies have taken a 3-2 lead.
Comes with another fastball inside part of the plate. Low, able for him to handle it. Just sneaks it down the line. Again, this goes back to the Puig trying to throw the runner out at the plate and allowing Walters to get to second base. By doing that, this base hit scores both runs. Otherwise, Hit would have only scored 1 run.
So LeMahieu had 4 hits last night. His first hit of today's game, an extra base hit, and it knocks in 2. And Charlie Blackmon will look at ball 1. Fifth pitch of the inning coming up here for Walker Buehler, 7th member of the Rockies to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. And that's going to get into left field. LeMahieu's coming around from second. Kemp's throw will go to second, and the Rockies take a 4-2 lead. Another 2-out RBI. This time it's Charlie Blackmon who gets the job done.
This Rocky ball club has really been hitting the ball well as of late. You see Blackmon just shoot this ball in left field past the diving Turner. Many great pitchers have succumbed to Coors Field.
McConaughey, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, headed out here to talk to Buehler. Look at the breakdown for Buehler through 36 pitches in this game, and again, had just 11 in the first inning. That's some help from his defense, though. Get out of the first without allowing a run. He's given up 4 here in a flash in the second.
But again, you really can't explain this place. You can only experience it. And coming out to pitch, and you can have a game plan. You can be told, oh, this is what you got to do. This is. But until you go through it, until you feel what it's like to pitch here, whether it's controlling the baseball or watching it come off the bat, there's really no substitute. And it is not a forgiving place at all for any pitcher.
So Blackmon at first, held on by Bellinger. Arenado becomes the 8th batter of the inning for the Rockies. Back is Blackmon at first. Arenado already with a hit in this game, single to center in the first. One of 6 Rockies hits on the night. Arenado got his 12th home run of the year here last night.
I mean, he's just a flat-out stud. That's all there is to it. In the last 3 years, he averages 100 runs, 40 home runs, 130 RBIs.
He's got a base hit here, a second of the game to right. Blackmon will stop at second as Puig's throw gets cut off. 3 straight hits here now for the Rockies, and it's first and second with 2 down.
Look at this guy. Out over the plate, up and away, and just shoots it to right field. Look, we talk so much now about guys launching and you know, trying to lift and separate, the uppercut and the launch angle, and trying to hit the ball out of the park. A great example of just a great hitter, trying to hit line drives. The home runs will come. I mean, we'll take the base hit to right field. One of the best in the game.
2 on, 2 down, and Carlos Gonzalez takes strike one. Flied out to left, turned into a double play as Kent made the catch and then fired homeward, and Charlie Blackmon was gunned down at the plate to end the first inning. Now getting his second look at Walker Buehler. He's had to work very hard in this inning and about to throw his 40th pitch of his outing. Dodgers bullpen not in good shape. They'd have him go a while here today after a bullpen day yesterday, and they've already got action in the pen. A right-hander up in Hudson for LA.
Well, you're exactly right. You'd like to get innings from Buehler, but not at the expense of, you know, his future. And what I mean by that is this is a guy that is very special. And look at just throwing the 40 pitches, but mentally what this does to you, you don't want to just leave him out there just for the sake of eating up innings and eating up pitches. Dave Roberts has Daniel Hudson getting loose.
It's up top for ball 2. Ninth Rocky that Buehler's had to deal with here in the home half of the second inning. Colorado's put together 4 runs so far. Very high. 97 for ball 3. Now the runners can get a start with 2 down in the inning. Takes a little stroll counterclockwise around the mound. 32 pitches in the inning. 43 in the outing. An inning and 2/3. Gonzalez strikes out to end the second inning, but the damage is done. Rockies score 4 times in the inning. They take a 4-2 lead on what was quite an inning for the Rockies. To the third we go. Well, the Rockies with a 4-2 advantage as we head into the third inning. And it's the top of the Dodgers order. Chris Taylor leading it off. Strikeout victim in the first. One of 3 Ks for Marquez, who now has a 2-run lead with which to work. After he had allowed a pair of runs in the second to LA. Dealing with the top of the Dodgers order, Taylor, Turner, and Grandal.
Well, so far, you know, last night and then the early part of this ball game reminded me a lot of the 1990s contest here at Coors Field. A lot of scoring. I mean, already 6 runs.
I have the feeling you can never have enough. Dodgers going to the 9th inning. They had themselves a 4-run lead, and it seemed like the Rockies were just a pitch or 2 away from tying that game up. And for a long outing for Kenley Jansen, and it's back-to-back for him, so he is not available most likely today for Dave Roberts.
Well, that's one of the tough things about playing here. You know, especially if you're playing, if you play for the Rockies, you have to be out here for 81 home games. You know, mentally, these games are taxing because they are exhausting, not only physically but mentally.
That's ball 4, and Chris Taylor down to first base. First walk handed out by Marquez.
You know, and that's the thing at this ballpark. Walks, errors, not getting outs, those are the things that kill you, because there's going to be offense, but let him hit the ball. Don't let him go down to first base. You know, field the ball cleanly. Don't give away outs.
Leadoff walk for Taylor brings up Justin Turner. See home plate now in the shadows of the light tower. It's early evening start time in Denver. A factor certainly for the hitters. The backdrop also kind of in the darkness, but lots of sunshine in between. To third base, Arenado backed up on it, goes to second for 1, on to first. That's 2. Around the horn on the 5-4-3 twin killing, and that helps after the Marquez walk. 2 down.
Well, you see, Nolan Arenado, there's a reason he has 5 gold gloves. Won the platinum glove last year, which is given to the best fielder in each respective league. Marquez loving that right there. That's a big pitch. Big pitch. Remember, we mentioned this Rockies defense, best in the National League, especially if measured by errors. I know that errors aren't the end all, but again, nobody with fewer in the National League.
Well, they go into a shift here on the right side on Yasmani Grandal. Truly a pull hitter, and a swing there and make it 1-1. You see the shift. Only Arenado on the left side of the infield, and it's over the shift and into right. Over goes Gonzalez to play it on a couple of hops, and Grandal up over that shift has himself a base hit with 2 down here in the third inning. And it's hit number 4 of the day for the Dodgers, and that'll bring up Matt Kemp. Single to right in the second. Came around to score LA's first run. And average jumps out at you. 345 for Matt Kemp so far in the year.
He's up there swinging. Not a guy that's going to take a lot of pitches or walk much. 40 strikeouts, only 9 walks so far this year.
How about this list at Coors Field? Gentleman to my right, 21 home runs at Coors Field. What do you like about Coors Field so much besides the way the ball carried out of here?
Hey, it really is a great place to hit. We talk about the outfield, obviously the carry, but for a right-handed hitter, the best place to drive a ball was to right center, which just reinforces your proper mechanics. You know, this would be a place you'd come to and you'd leave and you'd be right. You'd be better. It's not like going to Wrigley Field or Fenway where you go there as a right-handed hitter and you try and pull the ball and you get into some bad habits. This place reinforced a great approach for a right-handed hitter.
It's a little different about right center now is the wall out there in front of the bullpen and the height of it, which has changed some things as Kemp goes chasing after that. There's that wall out there in right field, and it used to be gone. Now sometimes a double in these scenarios.
Yeah, and you know what? It's ironic because it penalizes the guy that hits the ball real hard. The line drive sort of thing, you know, may run into that wall. You know, still that one that just kind of flies over. Still a great place to hit them.
Did he go? No. They check with Mark Carlson, first base umpire. It's 2-2. You get a look from the side at Kemp.
Mark Carlson makes the right call there.
Swing and a miss, and Kemp strikes out to end the third. 2.5 done, 4-2 Rockies. Fox. Most of the country will see the Yankees take on the Mets in the latest chapter of the Subway Series. For others, it's Astros and Rangers or Diamondbacks and Rockies. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox. Stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Check local listings for the game in your area. It's bottom of the third inning, and back on the hill is Walker Buehler. Faced 9 in the second inning, and 4 of them scored on 5 hits. Come the Rockies again on the bottom of the third, and it's Trevor Story. Started last inning with a single, and now sends one to right center. Pederson going back. Going to be over his head, one off the wall. Story to second base, easily standing with a double that starts the bottom of the third inning.
Much like he did in his first at-bat on an 0-1 pitch, gets a hold of something. Now this one he drives to deep right center over Jock Pederson's head. Jock just has to play it off the wall. Now remember, Story was the man on second base with a base hit to Puig last inning, and Puig tried to throw him out. Again, Story, one of the fastest runners on this field today.
Story at second for Gerardo Parra. Well, for Buehler, he's faced 14 hitters and allowed 8 hits so far. This is contact that he's just not used to.
Again, he hasn't been able to establish location with his fastball. The off-speed stuff has been non-existent here.
Back past the mound to the shortstop. Taylor's throw to first in time. Story had to kind of scamper back to the bag at second. That ground ball was headed right in his direction. So he retreats, and Parr is retired 6-3, 1 down.
But really a good move by Story. I mean, he's probably kicking himself a little bit. The ball was behind him, but he knew where Chris Taylor was playing. Chris Taylor had been playing on a shift sort of situation, almost playing directly behind second. Smart base running by Trevor Story. Todd Story.
1 down. Story at second, and here is Ian Desmond. Desmond with a walk in the second inning came around to score the second Rockies run. On the year, hitting at just 191.
This is one of the reasons Bud Black thinks that this offense will get better. It just feels like Ian Desmond is going to improve as the season moves on.
Hitting for power, but not for average. He's got 9 home runs and 28 runs batted in, but the average under 200.
Well, again, a guy like Trevor Story, who's virtually the same, a few more home runs, a few more RBIs, but he's hitting about 240, 250.
Story takes off, and hit with the pitch was Desmond. So they're going to make Story go back to second base. It's a dead ball.
So you almost think that Buehler makes that adjustment knowing that he's got just such an easy. Well, no, he didn't see him running at all. That barely grazed him and got him at all, right?
So right there, really.
Yeah.
Story would have been at third. Yeah, that base stolen.
Absolutely.
So it's first and second now, 1 down, and Tony Walters coming up. Walters with an RBI single as part of the 4-run second inning. To short, and Taylor will try to start it to second for 1, on to first for 2. Dodgers turn a double play that ends the third. It's 4-2 Rockies through 3. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevy. Chevy has earned J.D. Power Dependability Awards for cars, trucks, and SUVs. And by McDonald's, new 100% fresh beef quarter pounder burgers, cooked right when you order. Back in Denver on a beautiful day. This time of year, sometimes it can be on the warm side, but not today. Just a glorious late afternoon, early evening at Coors Field. was much warmer here yesterday than it is today, and it's Cody Bellinger leads it off for the Dodgers in the 4th inning. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 for LA. And Bellinger's 0 for 1 on the day. Line out to the center fielder, Charlie Blackmon, in the 2nd inning. Now, through 57 games last year for Bellinger, he's hitting at .271 already at 22 home runs and 49 RBIs. At the OPS, just 8 home runs so far this year. And Eric, it seems they sort of started to figure out Bellinger and how to get him out in the postseason last year, and it's kind of carried into this season too.
Well, it's cliche, but it's a constant game of adjustments. Turner Ward, who fine hitting coach for the Dodgers, you know, and with Bellinger, look, he was going to be exposed. Every hitter is exposed, and then it's your job as a hitter to make an adjustment. And you know, he's working towards that. He's tried a lot of different things, and he'll continue to work. And he's just too good an athlete, too good of a hitter, you know, to stay mired in this forever. But while you're in it, it does seem like it's forever.
In the air down the left field line. Over is Parra towards the line, now into foul ground for out number 1. It all starts here for future baseball stars. The 2018 Major League Baseball draft coverage begins Monday night on MLB Network and MLB.com. It's that time again here in the first week of June already. And this season it's draft time.
A lot of college kids, high school kids, are going to have their dreams realized, or at least the first step in realizing those dreams.
Pederson to left, and back goes Parra to the track at the wall, loops, and that ball is gone. Home run for Jack Pederson, his 2nd of the year, and the Dodgers get their 3rd run. It's now 4-3 Colorado. Short fence and left, and just out of the reach of Gerardo Parra.
And that's the beauty of playing at Coors Field. This pitch out over the plate. You see Jock Pederson not trying to pull it, just drives it to left field. And this thing just continues to carry. Almost looks like it hit the, I don't know if it hit the top of the wall there, or if that was the cement area beyond it. Yeah, it cleared it. But really, this park, like I said, last night and today, this is having flashbacks to the 1990s.
And for Jock Pederson, his 2nd of the year. It's the Dodgers back within a run again with 1 out here in the 4th inning. And Puig will take ball 3. Taken all the way, and he'll take strike 1. The Dodgers secured game 1 of the series here last night. And a lead here today, 2-0 for the Rockies. Came back. There's a ringing single into left field for Yasiel Puig, his first hit of the night.
Four hits last night, a hit tonight. Again, if he can get his production going, the Dodger offense, you know, in this 11-4 stretch that they've had over these last 15, it's really been a result of the pitching, specifically the starting pitching. Offense has come along, it's slugged a lot better, but there's still room for these guys to get better.
Rayvick Valera batting for the 2nd time, and that'll straighten him up.
To Forsythe, Stripling there.
Valera picked up his first major league RBI with a single in the 2nd inning. Now bats with Puig at first and 1 away. Marquez missing again. That's going to bring Tony Walters out for a mound visit. So Steve Foster, the pitching coach, headed out there as well to talk it over here with Marquez, who falls behind 2-0, and he was behind Puig 3-0 in his breakdown so far through 3 1/3 innings.
Well, again, you really have to be a special type person to pitch here in Colorado and to have success. You know, Jock Pederson, that ball that he hit, yes, he hit it well, but in a lot of places that's a fly ball out to left field. You know, instead it's 1 run, and now Marquez is, you know, he's a little flustered. Puig gets on, fall behind 2-1 here to Valera. It just, again, you have to have a real short memory here as a pitcher.
We're talking to Bud Black for the game, and he manages any differently now, being the Rockies manager and managing here at home. I found it very interesting. His answer was to stay with the starter longer than he normally would.
Yeah, you just, you know, and he mentioned you get to that bullpen and then you just don't know what can happen, and you've got to lengthen that starter as best you can,
especially in the first game of the series.
Yeah, you can get all tied up if you expend that bullpen on that first game of a series. You know, this is why teams on road trips, you know, when they come to Colorado, and if that's the beginning of a road trip, that is not good. You know, you could blow out your bullpen and then you've got 2 or 3 more cities to follow, and you know, guys are just trying to recuperate after that first series.
It's a bullpen game last night for the Dodgers, and they were deep into the pen, and Dave Roberts tried to stick with that first one as long as he could. And the Rockies also deep into their pen last night. Chance for 2 to second for 1, back to first. It's in time. They turn it nicely down on the 3-6-3. Dodgers get a run, 4-3 Rockies. Between innings, and they have decided the back end of that double play, he was safe. So Breivik, Valera beating it out, and now at first base, this inning will continue. You know, the look here, Ian Desmond with the foot just above the bag, it appeared. I thought it was on the bag, but it was close. Either way, he may have just beaten it flat out. And it was overturned on the Dodgers challenge.
Oh, and why that's important now, Buehler comes up with 2 outs. You turn the lineup over, so at least he's not leading off the next inning.
Two and two. Buehler a strikeout victim in the second. He went swinging, 1 of 4 Ks on the day for Marquez. Top of the order, Chris Taylor waiting on deck for LA. And that is strike 3. So now the inning is finally over. 5 Ks for Marquez. 4-3 Rockies. Boost Mobile, big inning for the Rockies in the second as they score 4 times. Tony Walters scoring there. DJ LeMahieu with a double that would play 2. Charlie Blackmon part of it as well. His single drove in a run. It was a 4-run second, and at the time with the Rockies on top 4-2. Dodgers come back with a run on a home run by Jock Pederson. So the bottom of the 4th we go, and German Marquez, the pitcher, leading it off for the Rockies. Marquez flying out to center field in the second inning and getting his second look at Walker Buehler. 4 runs heel out, all coming in the second.
Well, every inning he's been in trouble. The Dodger defense has done some good things. Matt Kemp threw out a runner in the first inning. Last inning, nice double play. He needs to have a 1-2-3.
Marquez, who's got an idea at the plate, has 5 hits on the year, 5 for 18 on the season at .278. Pitcher leading it off here for the Rockies in the home half of the 4th inning. To third, and Turner picks it on the half hop and throws out Marquez. So 1 down, and it's back up to the top of the order for the Rockies, and this is where the trouble starts. DJ LeMahieu coming up.
Yeah, had that big double down the line just past Turner. You know, again, with him back in the lineup, that extends this lineup. Brings back one of the better hitters in the National League. Charlie Blackmon on deck.
Now LeMahieu, when he won the batting title in 2016, hit a .348 that season. Charlie Blackmon won it last year, hitting at .331. Set the pace in the National League. And you get those guys back to back, your top two in your order. It's pretty good offense coming into this season.
Yeah, those two back to back, and then you followed up with one of the best players in all of baseball. And that man, Jose Arenado. 3 Silver Sluggers, 3 All-Star appearances. We mentioned the 5 Gold Gloves. 27 years old.
'60th pitch for Buehler. McConaughey's already been out there once to talk to Buehler. That was part of the 4th inning. He's got 1 out here in the 4th and ahead 1-2. Grounder cut off by Turner nicely. Plants and throws. Good stretch on the other side by Cody Bellinger, and there are 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, nice play by Justin Turner, cutting that ball off. Does a nice job of ranging to his left, sets his feet, makes a good flip over to first base.
Two down, and Charlie Blackmon coming up. Already 2 for 2 in this game. He's single to center, single to left, and driven in a run. Think about Blackmon last year, not only the batting average for him and the year that he had, but also he had over 100 RBIs, and he was leading off every day. It tells you about the bottom of the Rockies order being on base for him. This lineup being very deep.
That's what we talked about. You know, every single year, the last 4 or 5 years, it's, you know, the Rockies are atop the National League in runs scored. And that just feels like it's an automatic. The Rockies are going to score. That hasn't translated yet this year. And I say yet. Still a third of the way into the season. And again, with LeMahieu healthy, back in the lineup, you know, Blackmon is going to get better. That's what the back of his baseball card says. Arenado has been very good, but you know, he'll carry the club for a while.
Well, Blackmon's had one of the legendary beards in Major League Baseball that he has let go for the most part of the last couple of years. Just in case you wondered what Charlie Blackmon looked like under that beard, well, got to go back to 2013 to show you. Looks like a completely different dude. Unrecognizable.
I mean, really, if he shaved that beard, it'd be like putting him in witness protection. You'd have no idea. You have no idea. My name's Charlie Blackmon. Right, dude. Sure it is.
Justin Turner with good face moss as well. 2-2 coming up here to Blackmon with 2 down and the base is empty. We're going to shift on the right side on him, and this one to the backstop at 97.
That's always comforting as an umpire, right? You know, guy just unleashes 197. Catcher doesn't really get a glove on it. Guys have a thankless job back there, man.
Nick Lentz with the plate today for the umpires. Payoff pitch, and that's ball 4. Blackmon down to first base. Second walk allowed by Walker Buehler. This one comes with 2 down in the 4th inning.
Yeah, you had Blackmon 0-2 right there. You had all the makings of a 1-2-3 inning to get back in. You know, their pitcher had hit this inning. Top of your lineups leading off. I mean, that was a huge at bat by Charlie Blackmon.
Nolan Arenado a chance. Already 2 for 2 in this game. A single to center, single to right. A drive down the left field line that is headed foul. Out ahead was Arenado. He knew it right away. Didn't move out of the batter's box. He's been a great third baseman here for a long time. Highest career slugging percentage all time third baseman, and that's quite a list that he is on top of. You got to take into account he does play here at Coors Field. That is part of it. Oh, look at the splits for him too prior to the game, and it is decidedly home heavy.
Yeah, there's no question. I think any player you look at over the course of their career, you know, they may have spurts where it's equitable, but when you're talking about slugging percentage, on base percentage, batting average, I mean, it's significantly different home versus away.
Fly ball to center. He's got Pederson going back on the track to make the catch in front of the wall. Gone are the Rockies in the 4th inning. We'll head to the 5th with the Rockies on top by a run. It's 4-3 Colorado. Fifth inning, and for the 3rd time in this game, Chris Taylor, the leadoff hitter for the Dodgers, going to lead off an inning. Leads it off here in the 5th. Swing and a miss at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's Taylor, Turner, and Grandal featured here in the 5th inning.
Well, we'll see if Valera beating out the prospective double play, the Dodgers challenging and successfully challenging, then it allowed Buehler to come up, and he made the 3rd out. But what it does is it turns over the lineup, allows Taylor to start this inning instead of Walker Buehler.
Bounces in for ball 3. Marquez has struck out 5 through the first 4 innings and has walked 1. 2 runs in the second and the solo home run by Jock Pederson in the fourth. Carries a 4-3 lead here into the fifth. Taylor stays alive. Played in the shadows, the mound in the sunshine.
It's always pleasurable as a hitter. It's tough to recognize spin.
To right field, down the line, over is Gonzalez towards the seats, and he'll have no play. This summer, the 2018 FIFA World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. With every match live and over 300 hours of coverage, the world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. Payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. Leadoff walk for Chris Taylor. Second time he has walked to begin an inning. Did so in the third, was quickly erased on a double play grounded into by Justin Turner. See what happens here in the fifth inning. Turner is 0 for 2. Mentioned the double play. He's also flied out to center.
Well, you look at the numbers, they're not overwhelming, but again, just his presence, the ability to extend the lineup, the ability to create pressure on the other team, the other pitcher. And I don't think it's a coincidence that since he's been back, yes, the starting pitching has been much better, but he has had a huge impact on this ball club.
Ball and a strike, and Turner didn't think so. Walters headed back out there again to talk to Marquez. See where this pitch ended up.
Yeah, it looked like it caught the outer part of the plate, maybe the corner. Just not excited. I don't think that's where they were trying to throw the ball.
Rushes him back with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball in. German Marquez working here into the fifth inning. 77 pitches deep into his outing. And gets the high strike call. Turner's not been enamored with either strike call. One on the outside corner or this one that was a little bit up, but
it's not that bad. It's not like those are pitches that are obvious. 4 pitches, hasn't swung the bat yet. What do? We moving him here? I got to believe he's running. I got to put him in motion with Turner up.
Mentioned Turner grounding into the 5-4-3 double play in the third. Taylor with the lead at first. Not going anywhere, and this one is a bloop to right. Gonzalez coming in, will get there to make the catch, and Taylor back to the bag at first. Well, just flared out into short right field, but hung up long enough for Carlos Gonzalez to come in and make the catch for out number 1.
And Marquez doing a nice job of running that fastball in on Justin Turner's hands, and couldn't get the bat head out. Tried to muscle it over to right.
1 out, Taylor at first, and here's Yasmani Grandal.
And keeping Taylor at first, it opens up the hole over there. Desmond having to hold the runner on.
The Rockies shift, but they keep it tight to the infield. The double play possibilities in order. Fouled off, 0-2. Grandal strikes out. Fastball running away at 98. Late life. Strikeout number 6 for Marquez. 2 down.
Yeah, Marquez just overpowers Grandal here. This fastball, as you mentioned, running away 97, 98 miles an hour. You know, that's what's so exciting about this young kid on the hill. I mean, the stuff is electric. And again, you can have great stuff. It doesn't necessarily translate into success, but you can't teach that fastball.
So Taylor walked to begin the inning, still at first base with 2 down in the inning, and Kemp now backs out. It's been a 1-for-2 night for the Dodgers left fielder. Check on Taylor diving back safely.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor's going anywhere now. He wasn't running early on with Turner up on a 3-2 pitch. I got to believe he'll let Matt Kemp swing the bat.
He does, and fouls it back. Kemp singled in the second, came around to score the first Dodgers run, then struck out swinging in the third. One of 6 strikeouts for Marquez in this game. Walker Buehler looking on, 71 pitches through 4 innings in this game, and in the inning he had trouble the second when the Rockies scored 4 times. Hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning yet in his outing. It's not like there have been easy innings for him in this game.
Yeah, you mentioned that the only inning he had trouble, the only inning that he gave up runs, right? And you know, that first and third inning, you know, each of those could have been run producing inning. Dodgers playing some good defense and Buehler making some good pitches. Marquez concerned about Taylor.
Rolls it over foul outside of third, and it's 1-2 now to Kemp.
Now maybe with 2 strikes you think about going just to put Matt Kemp in one of those situations where if you do get thrown out at second base, Matt starts with a new count leading off next inning, or if you do make it down to second base, at least you're a single away from possibly scoring.
And you got a guy in Kemp who is second right now in the major leagues. The runners in scoring position, hitting .436. Just kind of locks in with men in scoring position. And you see Taylor get there, but right now hanging around at first base with 2 down and Kemp down 1-2. Staying alive and fouling the 98-mile-an-hour fastball back.
Well, they're staying away from Matt. Very productive middle part of the plate, inner part of the plate.
In the dirt, taken off is Taylor. Throw down there, and Taylor will be safe. Saw the ball go in the dirt, takes off aggressively and takes second base.
That's a heck of a play by Walters. I mean, the ability to not only block the ball, but then to gather it, make a good throw. It's a heck of a job.
So Taylor taking second on the wild pitch. Kemp, who's been in a battle here. Pitch 90. We welcome those of you watching the U.S. Women's Open to Denver, Colorado and Coors Field. where the Rockies have a 4-3 lead. The Dodgers are batting here in the top of the 5th inning. Don Orsillo and Eric Karros with you from Denver.
I've got to spin one here. I don't want to throw him a fastball. Got first base open.
Down to first goes Kemp. Third walk allowed by Marquez. Tonight's game summary sponsored by Budweiser. Jock Pederson 2 for 2 in this game with a solo home run. Charlie Blackmon 2 for 2 with an RBI and now a 10-game hitting streak. And combined in this series, both teams 26 runs, 39 hits. You can expect that anytime the Dodgers and Rockies get together, especially at Coors Field. Steve Foster, the pitching coach, is out there for the second time in this game. It's a game in which the Dodgers jumped on top 2-0 with 2 in the second. But a big bottom of the second inning for Colorado. They score 4 times, including a 2-run double by DJ LeMahieu. It's 4-2 when Jock Pederson, the center fielder for the Dodgers, homered to left and made it 4-3, and that's where we sit here in the 5th inning. The Dodgers threatening with 2 down and runners at first and second, and you got Cody Bellinger coming up next.
You know, right now for Cody, this could be huge for the confidence. You know, a meaningful at bat right here. Runners in scoring position. Club down by a run. I mean, he's just looking for something that he can feel good about right now. I tell you, when you are struggling, it feels like you're 0-2 every time. Pitchers are hitting corners. I mean, look at it. He's just walked a couple of guys this inning and starts you off with a breaking ball in the outer part of the plate. Just going, geez.
Ball and a strike now to Bellinger. Inning started with Taylor walking. Turner fly to right. Grandal struck out. Wild pitch got Taylor to second and walked Kemp. 2 on, 2 down, and Bellinger waiting on a 1-1 pitch. Two and 1.
Up here you got to zone one up. Just because it's a strike doesn't mean you necessarily swing at it, but you got to be looking for a location right here. See Bud Black, he's just, oh man. You know, and that's what teams have done. They've elevated on Bellinger. You know, he hasn't made the adjustment to show that he can consistently catch up to that high fastball. Teams have continued to go up in the zone on him.
Two on and a 2-2. Bellinger will slap it foul. Do it again.
See, they went 93, a little bit above belt high. Maybe come back with a breaking ball or again go high.
It's Taylor at second, Kemp at first, and the 2-2. Swing on and miss. Bellinger down by way of the K. 7 strikeouts for Marquez. 4-3 Rockies. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Boost Mobile. Back in the Rockies and in Denver, Marquez and his manager Bud Black talking it over as Marquez just finished the top of the 5th inning, got out of that jam. Still 97 pitches in the ballgame. That might be it for him. Always instructing is Bud Black. He may be the manager, but still great pitching coach at heart. It's in there for a strike to Carlos Gonzalez, who leads it off here for the Rockies in the 5th.
You see Marquez, and again he didn't have his great stuff. He's wiggled out of some jams, and look at, he's held this Dodger club to 3 runs.
Shift is employed, and it's Turner on the right side of the infield who throws to first to retire Gonzalez. So the shift works out there for Dave Roberts. 1 down in the 5th. We'll bring up Trevor Story. 2 for 2 for the Rockies shortstop. A single to right, a double to center. Joins Arenado and Blackman. A multi-hit game already as he bats here with 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, Buehler gets ready to toss up pitch number 75 of his outing.
You know, this is the guy for me in this Colorado lineup, Trevor Story, that, you know, if he can get hot, you know, the production is there, he can get on base a bit more. You know, he's the guy I think that really changes this lineup. You know, bats down in the middle, can provide some pop. Again, I remember that rookie year he had a few years ago. Tremendous athlete.
Think of all the great years they had here from Troy Tulowitzki at shortstop. Trevor Story, who started slowly this year but is coming on. Mentioned the 11 home runs, 39 runs driven in, and that average on the climb. Buehler, who could use a quick inning pitch count wise. The first down on Gonzalez. Now he's fallen behind Story, 3-1. Full count.
Went with the 3-1 slider in the dirt. You know, and that's where Story's going to have to improve, right? You know, 3-1 pitch, you're selling out before you've even seen it. Ball's in the dirt.
Lifted foul down the right field line. That'll find its way into the seats. Well, the 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online. You can vote for your favorite players at MLB.com/vote. Get all the excitement of the 89th Major League Baseball All-Star Game presented by MasterCard, July 17th, live on Fox and ESPN Radio. Payoff pitch again to Trevor Story. Check swing. He went around and strikes out. Tried to hold up with that breaking ball down and away. Cannot. And is rung up by Mark Carlson, the first base umpire. 2 down.
So 3-1, he goes breaking ball in the dirt, then follows up a 3-2 fastball, and then right there, and that's a tough one. If I'm hitting right there and I'm Trevor Story, I'm not real excited. You know, looking at right there, that could go either way.
It's not been a huge strikeout game for Buehler. That is strikeout number 2 of his outing. 4 2/3 deep, and here's Gerardo Parra. His 14 batters, gave up 8 hits. And 4 runs during that time. Last 9 batters, nada. 1-0 to Parra. Parra's 0 for 2. He's fly to left, grounded to short.
You know, I mean, this seems, for me watching this game, it feels like Colorado has just dominated the Dodgers. Also feels like we've been here for 9 innings, but we're midway through the game, and it's essentially it's a 1-run ball game.
It's Kemp in left, backpedaling to handle out number 3. Buehler has his first 1-2-3 inning. 4-3 Rockies. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by USAA Insurance, Banking, and Investments tailored for the military community. And by Hankook Tire. Chase down your passion, never halfway. Back in Colorado, and back to the mound is German Marquez. Working here into the 6th inning. That was pitch 98. Jock Pederson leads it off here in the 6th. Rockies shifting on the right side.
A little surprised. I mean, I know that the bullpen is taxed, but Marquez has battled, and you know he's given you 5 good innings, facing Pederson right now, who's doubled and homered off of him.
Long discussion at the end of last inning with him and his manager too, Bud Black, and I thought that was it, but back out there he goes, and even 100 pitches. A season high, career high for him in pitches thrown is 113. As you look at his line, pitch 101 is going to miss to Pederson.
You know what you don't want to do is, you know, it wasn't great, but he's battled, and he could have left with a lead. You know, now you're hoping that he can get through this inning. He'll feel good about his outing, but if he doesn't, you know, then you go, man, was it really worth it? Tough being a manager. Tough being a manager here in Colorado. Just so many things to navigate.
Pederson drives this to right field, deep far, and that ball is very gone to right. Jock Pederson hits his 2nd home run of the ball game. And with that swing of the bat, this game is tied up 4-4.
You know, if that bullpen isn't so depleted for Colorado, I don't think Marquez comes out. You know, again, we talked about it. Pederson had doubled and homered off of Marquez so far today. You know, you could have got him out of there feeling halfway decent about his start. He battled, and now he runs out there. It's a tie ball game.
So 2 home runs for Jock Pederson, had 1 coming into the game today. First one went to left. This one goes to right. Puig will lay off, and the count evens at 1-1. So big day for Jock Pederson. You mentioned the double already. Scored 3 runs, and it's a 4-4 game with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Puig to center. Blackman headed back with room to make the catch for out number 1. So 1 away, and Breivik Valera coming up now for LA. Double-barreled action in the pen as Shaw and Musgrave warming right now for Colorado. Rockies spent a lot of money this last offseason on their bullpen. It's not lived up to expectations to this point yet.
Well, the only bullpen with a higher ERA in the National League are the Marlins. You know, and that's not to say, look at Davis has been great. I mean, 18 saves, and Ottavino, when he was healthy, very effective.
To third, Arenado spins and fires to first for out number 2. Let's get you a game break with Mike Hill.
Your attention, next inning for the Dodgers in place of the pitcher, Buehler, number 11, Logan Forsythe.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Back here in Denver, this game is now tied 4-4 thanks to the leadoff home run by Jock Pederson. Logan Forsythe hitting for Walker Buehler. In the pitcher's spot will take strike 1, so that's a day for Buehler.
Buehler didn't have his great stuff, but showed a lot of fortitude. He got out of some jams. Dodger defense helped him a bit, and really outside of that 2nd inning where things got away from him, it was pretty effective. As you mentioned, what, you retired after the first 14 hitters. I don't think anybody else got on. Was that it?
Yeah, and he had his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing in the 5th.
Yeah.
He had 84 pitches.
But see, that's a difference. So Dave Roberts in this situation is saying, look at my guy, he battled, not going to be tagged with an L, feels good about battling. I'm not going to run him out there and leave him susceptible to having this be a bad outing.
Now Forsythe strikes out. That's 8 Ks for Marquez. This game is now tied thanks to the Pederson home run, his 2nd on the day. All tied at 4. 6th inning, and the Dodgers into their pen. First out is Pedro Baez. Pederson in his 27th game of the year after 5 innings from Walker Buehler. Parts with a no decision. Baez misses for ball 1 to Ian Desmond to start the bottom of the 6th inning. And look at Buehler's line, ends up with 84 pitches. 4 runs all coming in 1 inning, the 2nd inning. Couple of walks, couple of Ks. Finished strong at his first 1-2-3 inning of his outing in the 5th. Well, Desmond swings and it's 1-1.
And the thing about it is he leaves this game, I mean, not necessarily feeling good, but considering where things were headed, it's like, okay, you know, I learned some things. I can walk away from this ball game knowing that I battled through things. Where Marquez, I watched him walk off the field last inning, you know, the hat's off, and it's like, oh man, you know, and I think there's something to be said about sending either one of those pitchers on their way, you know, feeling good about what they did. Dave Roberts is, you know, not risking that. Bud Black rolled the dice.
And 1 more inning, and the first hitter that Marquez faced in the 6th took him out of the yard, and Jock Pederson, which tied the score. He would retire the next 3 in a row. Desmond waiting on a 1-2 pitch here, leading it off in the bottom of the 6th inning. Baez is a very deliberate worker.
It's another word for slow. Just go ahead and say it.
Very slow. How about
say it.
Painfully slow.
You know, and that's a thing. As a fielder out there, it wears on you. And then when you don't make the play, or it's just out of your reach, you know, oh geez, how come you didn't make that play? Well, geez, dude, I've been standing around out here for 10 minutes.
Allowed 2 runs in his last 7 relief outings, only 1 earned. And it's only hitting at .221 against him. And a full count here to the first hitter that he faces in Ian Desmond.
Desmond threw a little bit back at him right there. He's going to take some time.
Ball 4 and he loses him. So Desmond, the patient plate appearance, heads down to first base.
His fastball just runs in. It's up and way off the inner part of the plate. Rondell's doing his best to try and sell it.
So lead runner on here for the Rockies in the 6th inning, and it brings up Tony Walters. Needs to see the signs again. 1 for 2 with an RBI single. That came back in the 2nd inning. Cody Bellinger holding on. He and Desmond at first base. Nobody out here in the 6th. Turner in on the grass at 3rd, and a full cut from Walters, who can't catch up to that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Turner has been kind of cheating in down there at 3rd base, now just a stride in on the infield grass. Outfield playing for Walters to go the other way. They shade Pederson over towards left center. Runner goes. Walters swings and pops it up left side. Backpedaling is Turner. And he'll take care of out number 1, and back to first goes Desmond. 1 away here in the 6th.
Looked like he had the hit and run going right there. And Walters unable to get it down on the ground. Tough guy to hit and run with as far as Baez on the mound.
Can't really guarantee contact.
And you can't guarantee a strike. You know, I mean, it's an odd play right there. I mean, I'd almost have him bunt in that situation if I were going to do something.
Pitch hitter here, and Ryan McMahon batting in the pitcher spot for Marquez. 217 hitter, no homers, 3 runs batted in. That's with Desmond at first and 1 away. Dodgers are shifting on McMahon, but they keep it tight to the infield. The double play possibility, and that is the third baseman Turner, who's in the second base spot on the right side.
I mean, interesting. I wouldn't even. I mean, he takes away that spot of where Bellinger, by holding the runner on, that would be wide open. I mean, I'd argue like he's playing as a pulled second baseman right there.
Good check on Desmond, but back to the bag.
You know, a lot of times when we see that shift on the right side of the field, you know, somebody's playing out on the grass, or, you know, I understand there's a runner on first here, but it's a unique spot where Turner is right there.
Baez coming into this game here in the 6th. Walk Desmond. The Walters to pop out. 1 on, 1 out.
Now I want to see a ball between the second baseman and Turner, just to see who covers second base. There it is.
There you go. Ground ball that's through the shift on the right side. Desmond headed for third. He'll get there without a problem. And the Rockies have runners at the corners with 1 down here in the 6th inning.
You know, that thing presents a lot of problems right there. You hit the ball there, so who's going to cover second if there is a double play opportunity? You know, is that going to be Taylor? And then if Taylor's going to second, then who's covering third? You know, you saw right there again that the shift works in a lot of different situations, but it does present some issues as well.
First and third, 1 down. Top of the order, DJ LeMahieu in the beginning of 3 very difficult hitters coming up here for Colorado. Mayhew double to drive in 2 back in the 2nd inning. It's been a 1-for-3 game for the Rockies' second baseman. Ball 1.
Grandal doing his best to try and buy those pitches a bit off the plate. Baez wants him. Again, though, if you're not displaying good control, you're not going to get those borderline pitches.
On the ground to shortstop. Taylor will go to second for 1, on to first for 2, and the double play gets Baez out of the jam. Done with 6, tied at 4. Score tied 4-4 back in Denver as we play into the 7th inning. Rockies into the pen. We'll see Brian Shaw for the 32nd time this year. That number of appearances leads all the majors. He has been used a ton by the Rockies and Bud Black after coming over from the Cleveland Indians. 2-3 record. Shaw has been scoreless in 22 with 31 appearances previously. He's given up 6 home runs and deals at the top spot in the Dodgers order. Chris Taylor leading off an inning for the 4th time of 7 innings in this game. German Marquez departs after 6 innings, 7 hits, charged with 4 runs. He walked 3, strikeout 8, and season high 114 and a career high as well for German Marquez. 0-2 to Chris Taylor.
You mentioned those 32 appearances already by Brian Shaw. You know, again, we're just entering June.
Yeah, this is game 58 for the Rockies. That means 32 of 58. This right-handed reliever has been in.
I mean, that's third of it. You're on pace for 96. I mean, that's remnants of Mike Marshall back in 1974. The Los Angeles Dodgers ended up over 100 appearances.
Back up the middle into center field. Taylor's got himself a base hit. Let's go out to Los Angeles for a game break with Mike Hill.
Third baseman number 10, Justin Turner.
All right, thanks very much, Mike. Back here in Denver, tied at 4. The Dodgers have a leadoff runner on in the 7th inning. Here is Justin Turner, 0 for 3. And the recipient of strike 1. Turner's fly to center, bounced into a 5-4-3 double play and flied out to right. Check on Taylor, back to the bag, held on by Desmond.
You see the way Desmond caught that ball over at first. Very tough right now getting any throws from the pitcher, the third baseman. I mean, you can't see over there. Look at that. Look at he just, yeah. I mean, it is so scary over there. Todd Helton played over here for years, and I have no idea how he didn't just wear one in the forehead once in a while. I used to hate coming here and having to play defense the first 2 or 3 innings. You can have all the sunglasses and everything you want. That is just a challenge.
Turner with a long look down to Chris Woodward in the third base coach's box. Do the Dodgers have anything on here in the action count with being 2-1 and a runner at first? Nothing doing, and this one foul back. Well, a painful day yesterday, certainly for some in the major leagues. Mookie Betts placed on the DL. The ab strain. Brandon Belt had his appendix removed, and Josh Donaldson placed on the DL as well for the Blue Jays with tightness in his calf.
Hasn't he been battling leg injuries all year? I mean, he's been, golly.
2-2 to the backstop, and Taylor takes off, gets to second and rounds it in a scoring position with nobody out here in the 7th inning for the Dodgers.
Well, this thing not even close, and Walter's one of the best defensive catchers. I mean, there's nothing he can do in that situation.
So the wild pitch gets Taylor to second. It's full count now to Justin Turner with Yasmani Grandal waiting on deck. Fights it off, foul that time. Over by the Rockies dugout. They're housed on the first base side here at Coors Field. Taylor with that walking lead off second base, and hanging around second is DJ LeMahieu, making sure that lead is not terribly large. That is a base hit into right field for Turner, his first hit. Taylor being stopped at third as Gonzalez comes home, and it's first and third with nobody out for LA here in the 7th inning.
I mean, you just can't say enough about that at bat, about that approach, and about him just taking the ball, hit it the other way. At the very least, he's going to get Chris Taylor to third, and that is a winning at bat. That's a sacrificial at bat. That's not, hey, I'm going to lift and separate, I'm going to launch one into the seats. Again, we talk about, well, strikeouts, they're not that big of a deal. That's just part of the game. So you strike out there, Taylor's still standing on second base. Even if he hits that at somebody over on the right side, Taylor gets to third. It's a great at bat by Justin Turner.
First and third, nobody out, and Yasmani Grandal 1 for 3 in this game. Dodgers able to tie it up on the home run by Jock Pederson last inning. Now looking to take the lead for the first time since the second inning. They jumped out to that 2-0 advantage. And something in the eye of Grandal.
If you're Grandal right now, you're up there, you're looking for something up in the zone. You're thinking left center, want to get something in the air.
Fouls it off, evens a count of 1-1.
It always felt like if I was up there approaching it, and I'd say as a team at bat, I felt like I was rewarded a lot, like good things would happen. And it's just like Justin Turner. Okay, I'm going to get something over to the right side, or I'm not going to strike out. I'm going to put the ball in play. He's rewarded with a hit.
Swing and a miss.
You know, that feels like I'm trying to launch right there. I'm just trying to drive the heck out of the ball right there.
Think trying to do too much in this spot?
I don't say it's not do too much, because I don't know if I'd call it selfish, but it's not really a team at bat right now. You know, think over Story's head. Think to the left side.
Starting to stop for Turner at first, didn't go, and that'll miss to make it 2-2. Back, and we'll do it again. 2-2. Shaw gives up the leadoff single to Chris Taylor to start the inning. Wild pitch gets him to second. Turner with a single to right. So it's first and third for LA here in the 7th inning. And Shaw's not yet recorded an out. His next pitch will be the 17th of this inning. A lengthy battle with Turner, and well, the same with Grandal. Way for ball 3.
Again, if you're Grandal right now, you're just looking to put the barrel of the bat on the ball, not trying to drive something over the fence, staying away from a strikeout.
Fouled off to the left out play. Saw Matt Kemp waiting on deck for the Dodgers here in the 7th inning. Going through the heart of this Dodgers order now with runners at first and third and nobody out. Kemp, then Bellinger. Softly grounded right side. LeMahieu is going to go to second for 1. On to first. It is not in time, and the run will score. In from third comes Taylor. And the Dodgers push across the go-ahead run on top 5-4.
See Grandal hustling down there, but more important is the fact that he made contact. Now, is it the perfect situation? Sure, you'd like a sacrifice fly. But remember, he's had 2 at-bats already today where he struck out. He's up there grinding right now. They're able to hit the little ground ball, does the job. Again, that's a productive at-bat. Much better than the strikeout.
Well, the Dodgers have taken the lead now. Matt Kemp. We'll take a look at strike 1. Kemp a single to right in the second, came around to score. Struck out in the third, walked in the 5th inning. Grandal with that short lead at first base. And again, they're still dealing with the effects of the rays of sunshine into the eyes of Desmond holding on Grandal, and Grandal with a very short lead. Kemp ducking back out of the way, takes ball 2. So Marquez won the first 6 innings of this game and allowed 4 runs, not part of the decision. As Brian Shaw now finds himself on the hook for the moment, and Baez the pitcher of record for LA. This is to left. Back goes Parra, and Matt Kemp is left the yard. It's a 2-run shot for Kemp. His 9th home run of the year, his 2nd of this series, and the 2 runs put the Dodgers on top 7-4. A line drive home run out of the yard for Matt Kemp.
Well, and this is exactly why Bud Black ran Marquez out there for 1 more inning. Now this bullpen has been on trying time. Matt Kemp just crushes this ball. But again, that happens because of a great at-bat by Justin Turner. Grandal battling, has a good productive at-bat, and then bam. Then you can go launch angle.
Matt Kemp with a 2-run home run. The Dodgers with a 3-run lead. The pitching change from Coors Field. Matt Kemp with his 21st home run as an opponent here at Coors Field, and ties my partner who has 21 home runs here, only behind Barry Bonds, and tied now with Sosa. So your record's been tied here now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shoot Doc a text tonight. Tell him to sit Matt tomorrow. Needs a day off.
We had a couple series left here too, as this one will run inside.
You know, but that gets back to this Rockies bullpen. You know, they were coming into today's ball game. They were the 4th worst as far as yielding home runs, 3rd as far as runners in scoring position, allowing them to score. They just have not been able to get the job done. Again, it's, you know, Ottavino on the disabled list. You know, it's really hurt. Brian Shaw, remember all those years over in Cleveland, was very effective, a key part of that bullpen.
Mike Dunn, the 3rd arm used by Black into this game, takes over for Brian Shaw. Shaw went 1/3 of an inning and gave up 3 runs. And 3 hits, didn't walk anybody, nor did he strike anybody out. And Cody Bellinger bats now with 1 away, and Shaw just spectator now. And on the hook in this game. Clanks off the glove there of Walters, and it's 3-1.
You know, he had Chris Taylor 0-2, and Taylor fights that pitch and shoots it up the middle for a base hit. You know, Justin Turner, he was ahead in the count. Turner worked it to a 3-2 count, shoots a ball to right. Again, those are the at-bats that have allowed this inning to happen. And those are not going up there and trying to crush the ball. And it's, you know, again, 2-strike hits, taking what the pitcher gives you, and then Matt Kemp comes up and delivers a big blow.
The off pitch coming up here to Cody Bellinger with 1 down in the inning. And that's ball 4. Bellinger will walk here with 1 away. Well, that brings up Jock Pederson, who's had an incredible day today for LA. A double in the 2nd inning, a gapper out to right center field. He'd come around to score. Got his first of 2 home runs, an opposite field shot just out of the reach of Gerardo Parra. And this one gone to right field. 2 home runs, a double, 3 runs scored, driven in 2 runs. And LA on top 7-4 as he bats with 1 out and 1 on.
Now remember, the Dodgers are more than likely without Kenley Jansen tonight. Josh Fields probably becomes the closer in that situation. There's Kenley right there.
Wild swing and a miss for Pederson, down 0-2. He's making a bid there for his 3rd home run of the day. And Walters back out there again, this time to talk to Dunn. He was out there several times earlier. Mike Dunn, the 2nd pitcher of this inning, the 3rd of the ball game for the Rockies.
Just got the signal that was the 4th mound visit. Have you had a game yet so far where that came into play?
No. You?
No. Can't say that I have. Good job of staying alive right there.
To the backhand goes Walters, and it's a ball and 2 strikes to Jock Pederson. Been a busy guy back there today.
Yeah, he really has done a great job too.
Bellinger extends the lead a tad. And it's lined to right field. That'll get in for a base hit. Bellinger takes second on the 4th hit of the day for Jock Pederson. Let's go out to Los Angeles for a game break with Mike Hill. All right, Mike, thanks very much. Here are the Dodgers with so far 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning. They have taken a 7-4 lead, and they're threatening for more with runners at first and second, 1 out in the inning, and Yasiel Puig standing in on the right side. In there for strike 1. Puig has grounded to short, single to left, and flying out to center. He's grounded to short back in the 2nd inning, produced a run, his 18th RBI of the year.
You know, as a hitter right now, you've got an opportunity to drive in some more runs. You've got a 3-run lead. You've got to, though, still consider that every run is important. You know, you don't go up there and just try and hit a 3-run home run right now. You feel like, oh, well, we're ahead by 3. I'm going to go up and get my cuts. You don't battle right now. Down 0-2. Try and put the ball in play here.
No lead is safe here either.
No. Oh. No, no, no.
And on the hands that time, 1-2.
You know, it's interesting talking to Dave Roberts before the game, and you know, he made the comment that he treats a save here in this ballpark as one with a 4-run lead. So when he has a 4-run lead, that's save, and it's what he did last night with Kenley, right? He brought him in the 8th. They were up 4.
Wow, pretty close pitch right there.
Yeah, that pitch looked like it was over the plate and may have been inside. Walters trying to bring it back. That tells you that it probably was. Watch him bring the ball. Look at that. Yeah. Good call.
Puig, the 7th member of the Dodgers to bat here in the 7th inning. 2-2. Fouls it back again, and the battle continues.
This division really is going to be exciting. It may not be the most glorious division in all of baseball, but you know, you look at the Rockies and the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, and you know, Bumgarner's coming back for the Giants, but you know, all teams have flaws. You make a pretty good case for each one of them that they could win the division.
You got to figure Arizona is not going to continue to play the way they have, and with everything that has gone on with them, still just half a game back to start the day of the Rockies.
Well, you think that, you know, that they will get Robbie Ray back at some point. You know, Pollock's got to come back at some point.
JD Martinez is not coming back.
That's a great point. Is Goldschmidt?
That's a good
right?
question.
You know, I mean, that's
very much on Paul Goldschmidt like. Payoff pitch. That's ball 4 and a great at bat by Yasiel Puig. Works a walk, the 2nd allowed by Dunn since coming into this game. And the bases are now filled with Dodgers here in the 7th.
Again, the at bat by Taylor, the at bat by Turner, the at bat by Puig right there. You know, those are gutsy battle at bats right there.
More action in the pen, and Musgrave is up again. He had been up earlier. It seems to me that's what the Dodgers do, though. They really try to work the count, see a lot of pitches. I mean, they're tough to get out. And they have done that. They battled their way here in this game right now. Well, the Dodgers return home Friday, June the 8th, to begin an 8-game homestand against the Braves, Rangers, and Giants. Come see Bellinger, Kemp, and Puig at Dodger Stadium. Get your tickets now at Dodgers.com. They've got them loaded with 1 out in the inning. Breivik Valera 1-for-3 in this game. An RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Infield in all the way around. A wild swing and a miss for strike 1. Foul tipped it actually into the catcher's mitt.
Man, he wasn't messing around right there. He was. Again, though, this is as a hitter, you've got the infield in. Bases are loaded. You're already counting this as an RBI, but got to look for something up in the zone. At the very least, you jam yourself and hit it over the infield, or you hit a fly ball. You know Dunn's not going to throw anything on purpose up in the zone. It's going to be a mistake. One. I got to make. I'm looking out over the plate. Get it up. Get it up. If I'm done right now, I'm just hammering some slide or something in on the hands.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. That's ahead 1-2.
Yeah, that pitch, you know, it was away. It was up in the zone. That was a pitch right there that Valera had to hit.
Bases filled with Dodgers. Infield in all the way around here for the Rockies. With 1 down in the 7th inning. So far, it's been a 3-run inning for LA. Ball 2.
Kike Hernandez.
He's come out on deck to bat in the pitcher's spot, which would be for Baez. On the ground up the middle into center field. Bellinger will score. Here comes Jock Pederson. Throw goes to third. 2 more runs for the Dodgers, who now take a 9-4 lead. Breivik Valera drives in 2 more for LA.
This pitch just ends up right down the middle of the plate. With the infield drawing in, all Valera has to do is hit it hard. He does, shoots it right up the middle. Bud Black making that trip again.
He will use a 3rd pitcher in this 7th inning, and there's still only 1 out in the inning. It has been a 5-run inning to this point. It's now 9-4 LA. To take on the greatest golfers in the world at the 118th U.S. Open. Live coverage begins June 14th from Shinnecock Hills on Fox and FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 8th game for Harrison Musgrave, an 0-1 mark with a 2.53 earned run average. And 10 2/3. Those guys have pitched so far. Shaw and Dunn in this inning, and now Musgrave, the third arm used by the Rockies in the 7th. It's been a 5-run inning for the Dodgers, who now lead 9-4. Have runners at second and third, and this one fouled off by Kike Hernandez.
Kike's done a nice job defensively. He can play anywhere. You see the 7 home runs.
Has to be very frustrating here for Bud Black, and talking about his bullpen and the way things have gone. They just didn't expect that. They expected big things from the pen this season, spending all the money they did in the offseason to put this pen together.
Yeah, close to $100 million they committed to this bullpen, and again right now, just not clicking at all. Again, that really hurts him. With him being on the disabled list, changes everybody's role, pushes them in different situations. But that's why I keep going back. The one advantage the Dodgers have over all of the teams in the National League West is their depth and their ability to make moves because of their financial superiority. I mean, that's a reality.
This one was very close, tied 4-4 heading into this inning. Talk about the unavailability of Kenley Jansen today, and he's been looking on from the dugout all day.
But even so, the Dodgers still have to get 9 outs. I mean, that's it.
Long way to
this
go.
This Rockies lineup is dangerous.
Hernandez with a foul tip that time.
These are, it's 5-run lead, but these are 2 important runs out there. In both ways. If the Rockies can keep it to 5, again, it's not that big of a deal with 9 outs to play here. 7, obviously becomes more difficult.
Ball 4. First base was open. It'll be occupied now by Hernandez, who walks. Dodgers have batted around here in the 7th inning.
I think last night the Dodgers, in the 4th and the 6th inning, I think they batted 8 guys in each of those innings. Here you've got a 9th hitter, 10th hitter, right?
Yes,
10th.
Taylor led it off with a single to center field. Here he is again. It's been a 34-minute inning to this point.
Who's counting? Come on.
In the dirt, it'll get away. From third comes Puig, and the Dodgers make it 10-4. Wild pitch brings in another run for LA.
Walters tries to backhand that. Perfect world, you'd want to try and drop the chest down and block it. But again, you just mentioned, what did you say, 34 minute?
Yes. Back there.
That means 34 minutes squatting back there, having to catch some of this.
Infield still in as the runners move up at second and third. Now Taylor drives this towards the gap in left center field. That'll get down, one off the wall. Scoring is Valera, Kike Hernandez, and Taylor ends up at third base. It's a 2-run triple, and it's a 12-4 LA lead. They have opened things up here in the 7th inning.
Pitch just up and out over the plate. Taylor runs right into this thing. Been on base 4 times tonight.
Taylor at third now with still only one out in the inning.
And again, you still, if you're the Rockies, you've got 2 more innings after this. Got a ball game tomorrow. Your bullpen's been depleted. You know, you might have to make some roster moves just to get some fresh arms up.
Outside for ball 2. So Brian Shaw was touched for 3 runs to begin this inning. Done for 4, and he got nobody out. Musgrave has allowed a run of his own since coming in. That was a leadoff walk to Hernandez, and that's a strike. So 2-2 now to Justin Turner. An 8-run 7th inning right now, and it's the most in an inning this season for LA. Line and caught at second by LeMahieu. That is finally out number 2 of the inning. Kind of a mock cheer here at Coors Field. 2 down.
Well, you have to remember that the Rockies are the first place team in the division, and every team is going to go through trying times. You know, obviously this isn't the series you want to have some struggles with. You had an opportunity at the beginning of this series. You're 4 games up. You lose last night. Doesn't look good right now. You had an opportunity to really create some distance.
Tied 4-4 coming into this, the top of the 7th, and there's your 8th spot right now for LA.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Walker Buehler and his ability to navigate through a few innings and keep this game within reach.
LeMahieu makes the catch, but the damage most certainly is done. An 8-run inning for the Dodgers. Big blast in the inning for Kent. 12-4 LA. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. And by Marvel Strike Force. Download now for free from the App Store, Google Play Store. Changes for the Dodgers as Jock Pederson has had a tremendous offensive game. Moves from center to left. Kike Hernandez stays in the game after he pinch hit. He's in center field. And here's Scott Alexander, who pitched in last night's game.
Oh, he didn't pitch in last night's game.
He was the starter in last night's game. Here he is to work the bottom of the 7th inning, or at least to begin it. It's Charlie Blackmon. Seems like forever ago when the Rockies were at the plate. And it was a double play grounded into by DJ LeMahieu that ended the bottom of the 6th inning. Game was tied 4-4. Now they come to bat trailing by 8 runs in the contest.
I don't think it seemed like forever ago.
It was
forever ago.
Some 40 minutes. An 8-run half inning for LA. Blackmon in this game has been aboard 3 times, 2 singles and a walk. He's driven in a run. They shift on him, and he grounds into the shift on the right side. Valera for out number 1. Well, we talked a lot today about the Dodgers injuries and how they tried to just stay above water. It's been a wave of injuries for the Dodgers. Here are the notable Dodgers to have made appearances on the DL. Urias and Turner. You got Forsythe and Hill with the blisters. Forsythe the shoulder. Weed with a hip pointer. Ryu with a left groin strain. Seager out for the season. That was a big one. Tommy John left bicep tendonitis for Kershaw, but now the back's got him on the DL. And Maeda with a hip strain, and Utley with a left thumb strain, and on it goes for LA. But they continue to play good baseball, and arguably since really the middle of May, they've played great baseball.
I mean, you can point it to right around when Justin Turner came back. You can also pinpoint it specifically to the Washington National Series. I mean, they had lost a series in Miami.
Rounded to third. Turner a bobble. His throw still in time to get Arenado 2 down.
They had lost a series in Miami. They go to Washington. They're going to have to face Scherzer and Strasburg. That doesn't look good. They're reeling. And what do? They go sweep the Nationals. And that really, for me, was a time where things started to turn around for this ball club. And we mentioned at the top of the show, they're 11-4 in their last 15 games. Just looks like they're going to get a win here. On May 16th, they were 8.5 games out and in last place in the National League West. That man right there has kept this team afloat, Dave Roberts. Manager of the year 2 years ago. Arguably could have won it last year. And I would say that what he's done in the last probably month and a half, what he's done this year may be his best job so far.
It has been a struggle. I mean, really hard, and all these injuries to make it work.
Well, not only you have to make it work on the field, but you have to make it work in the clubhouse. And not only are we talking about injuries, but we're talking about, look, at the reality is Bellinger has struggled, and that's been taxing, not only on Bellinger, but the organization. Obviously they were counting on him. Puig didn't get off to a great start. Jock was struggling. It hasn't gone as they had planned, but again, it's a 162 game season, and that's how this organization operates. It doesn't operate in little blips.
Jensen didn't start off very well either.
I mean, you could really run the camera on anybody and you could say, well, he didn't start off well, or he was hurt, or things hadn't, But Dave Roberts, the front office, they've kept this group together.
Carlos Gonzalez strikes out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Alexander. To the 8th, 12-4 Dodgers. presented by Hankook Tire. Right in the middle of that 8-run 7th inning was his 2-run shot by Matt Kemp. And for Kemp, his 9th home run of the year. Scott Alexander breaking a bat here on a foul ball. 0-1. He gets a new one. Batting for himself here to begin things in the top of the 8th inning.
And I'm guessing that's a borrowed bat. There's somebody on that bench not happy that the bat just got broken. He can't have his own bats, can he?
I wouldn't think so. It's down 0-2. Alexander, Bellinger, and Pederson expected here in the top of the 8th inning. Waves at that and strikes out to begin things here in the 8th. So Musgrave getting his first strikeout since coming in, and it's the first out of the 8th inning. Here comes Cody Bellinger. Walked his last time up, came around to score. They shift on him on the right side here on Bellinger. There's the shift, and it's pretty close to the infield.
Well, again, if you play deep with him, he runs extremely well. I'm not sure that if you wait and it's back on that grass, you're going to be able to get him.
Well, Musgrave has been charged with 1 run since coming into this game. Otherwise, Marquez a starter, 4, not part of the decision. Shaw on the hook, gave up 3. Dunn allowed 4. That's a strike, and it's 2-2. Full count now. You got Jock Pederson waiting on deck. Pederson has had a incredible day. 4 hits, 2 home runs in the game. That's strike 3. Bellinger gets the bad news from Nick Lentz, the home plate umpire. It's back-to-back strikes, outs for Musgrave.
That's a tough pitch right there, but again, the way the score is and the way the game's going, you're not going to get that call if you're up at the plate. Nice pitch by Musgrave.
2 outs for Jock Pederson, 4 for 4. Last Dodger with 3 home runs in a game was Corey Seager, June of last year against the Mets. Only Dodger with 3 home runs in a game at Coors Field, Mike Piazza, June 29th of '96. Strike 1, and it's 1-1.
Well, and if you also remember, if you want to go to the playoffs, I know we're not counting playoffs. Remember Kike Hernandez, 3 home runs against the Cubs.
Musgrave is now retired 4 Dodgers in a row, striking out Alexander and Bellinger to begin the inning. There's a 2-1 to Jock Pederson. Fly ball center field. Charlie Blackmon will have room. Makes the catch. It ends the top of the 8th. 12-4 LA on top from Denver. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. And by Wells Fargo, established 1852, reestablished 2018. Back in Denver at Coors Field, where the Dodgers have a 12-4 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning, and Daniel Hudson comes into the game now for LA. Fourth arm they've used into his 15th game. Higher earned run average of 6.35. Trevor Story will take a hack to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th. Kind of twilight right now in Denver. Sun has set and lights are on. That's strike 2 at 95 from Hudson. Hudson went 2 innings season high Wednesday against the Phillies. Out there in game 2 of this series, pitching the 8th.
Well, if you're the Rockies, you have to weather this thing. Again, you came in, you're in first place, depending on what Arizona does tonight. They're playing against Miami. You may still retain first place. Again, it's not ideal the way things are going, but it's going to change. And the bullpen, it has the pieces. Right now, it's banged up. But this team it will contend this year.
Scoring in just 1 inning in this game. All of their runs came back in the 2nd inning. At the time they took a 4-2 lead. 2-2. It's ball 3. Hudson took over for Alexander, who had a 1-2-3 7th inning with a strikeout. Starter Walker Buehler went 5 innings, giving up 4 runs, not part of the decision. It's Pedro Baez who's the pitcher of record right now for LA after 1 shutout inning. That was the bottom of the 6th, and then all of a sudden the Dodgers put an 8 spot on the board at the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Baez gets a win, but really Walker Buehler deserved the win. And he didn't have his great stuff. He had that rough 2nd inning. The 1st and 3rd he had to battle through. Had some runners on, but he gave him 5 innings. And as you mentioned earlier, that 5th inning was a 1-2-3 inning. And
shift on and through it on the left side. Story's got himself a base hit. Wide turn at first to begin things here in the 8th inning, and that is the first hit since the 6th inning here for Colorado. Only their 2nd hit since the 3rd.
well, when you say that the first hit since the 6th inning, you go, well, it's only the 8th. Right. Heck, that was just only 2 innings ago. But then when you put a time on it, you say that was a first hit in an hour and a half or whatever. Then it means a little something. Yeah. I got you.
It's been a really long time, time-wise. Not so much innings-wise. Gerardo Parra 0 for 3 today. Bats with Story at first. Trevor Story with that base hit has a 3-hit day today for the Rockies. He's at first, held on by Bellinger.
You know, and that tells you something just about this ballpark and the value of runs, right? Bellinger is holding Story on at first base. We're in the 8th inning. It's an 8-run ball game. You've got a left-handed hitter at the plate. And Dave Roberts and the Dodgers elect to hold Story on. In most situations, in other ballparks, Bellinger would be playing off the bag. Not so at Coors.
Parra waves at that and strikes out for the first out of the 8th inning. First strikeout for Hudson. Following the conclusion of their homestand tomorrow afternoon against the Dodgers, the Rockies will return home on Friday, June the 8th, for a short 3-game series against the Diamondbacks. Get your tickets now to see Blackman, Arenado, and Story at Rockies.com. That'll be a big series. Two teams in the top 2 spots to begin the day in the National League West. Ian Desmond takes ball 1. Desmond walked in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and walked in the 6th inning. So he's been on 3 times in this game without the benefit of a base hit.
He's a guy taking over at first base for essentially Mark Reynolds, right? I mean,
yes.
You know, he's Mark Reynolds. If you've seen the last few weeks, signed and just hitting home runs over in Washington.
A little surprised that the Rockies did not make much of an effort to bring him back.
You know, you're exactly right. You know, I mean, I understand they thought that they would just move Desmond over there. You could play first, just fill in, but you know, you're walking away from, what was it, 30, 90, 30 home runs, 90 RBIs, and the irony of that is, you know, this offense is not anything like it has historically been.
Line foul.
You know, it's like you mentioned, you're so close to you know, you're probably a piece away. You know, that club you had last year, you go out, you get Davis to replace Holland, and you know, why not? You know, it's not like Reynolds was going to break the bank, and he ended up signing. You know, I think was it the minimum? Is he at the minimum over at Washington? I'm not even sure, but you know, he didn't have a job.
Time called very late. And stopping was Hudson at the base of the hill. He didn't sign until season had gotten well underway.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not sure when you're in that position that you can command a few $1 million, right? That's usually just an invite.
Outside, well, they weren't going to bring Carlos Gonzalez back either, but they ended up doing so. Signing late, and he has had a very good year for them so far. Trevor Story at first, one down here in the Rockies' 8th. Desmond will take strike 3. Do it, and takes with him the 2nd strikeout for Hudson. 2 down.
Number 14, Tony Walter.
Comes Tony Walters. 1 for 3 game with an RBI single. And a grounder left side is short. Taylor will go to first, and that out will end the 8th inning. 12-4 LA to the 9th we go. Cup is coming to Fox and FS1 with every match live and over 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. Ninth inning, 12-4. The Dodgers on top of the Rockies. And it's Yasiel Puig who's going to lead it off against Harrison Musgrave, who has been in this game since the 7th inning. It's the 7th and the 8th and now the 9th. His 30th pitch of relief is in there for a strike. Logging some innings and getting some outs for Bud Black. Popped up. Walters and Desmond, and it's seeing Desmond makes the catch and foul ground for first out of the 9th inning. So Puig retired. Brevig Valera coming up, got his first RBI in the big leagues back in the 2nd inning. Part of a 2-run inning, though, just out of the reach of LeMahieu. Scored Jock Pederson and gave the Dodgers at the time a 2-0 lead. He comes up in the 7th inning, drives in 2 more with a base hit, takes 2nd on the throw. And he was a big part of that 8-run 7th inning also for LA.
2 ground balls, 3 RBIs. Take it.
Now grounder right side as LeMahieu ranging to his left for the 2nd out of the 9th inning. 7 in a row now retired by Musgrave, so he's getting the job done here for the Rockies, quieting this Dodgers offense.
And you have to give him some credit because he knows, look at the game's out of hand. You know, he's coming in to just try and get outs, eat up some innings. You know, sometimes it's not easy to do because you don't have that focus, the intensity, but you got to hand it to him. He's done a real nice job. Well, big game tomorrow in this series. You know, you come in here, you're 4 games out. If you're the Dodgers, you can leave 1 game out. Rockies, on the other hand, as tough as it's been, you know, they can only lose 1 game in the standings if they win tomorrow, as far as the Dodgers are concerned.
That's a strike. 2-1 now to Hernandez.
You know, that's the thing, as a player, if you get up and down with each day, you're going to drive yourself batty. And it, you know, sometimes it frustrates fans or those that aren't directly involved because it, you know, it gives the appearance of you don't care.
Fly ball to left, sends Parra backpedaling, but he's there to make the catch that ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the 9th, 12-4 Dodgers. 9th inning, and Breivik Valera moving from second base to third base. Enter Austin Barnes into the game at second base for LA. So Justin Turner coming out of the game. Chris Iannetta leading it off here, pinch hitting. 234, 4 homers and 14 runs batted in for Iannetta.
Bud Black probably getting him an at bat right here, preparing him for tomorrow's ball game. Alex Wood scheduled to start for the Dodgers.
Daniel Hudson worked the 8th, back out there to start the 9th inning. Bounces that one.
There's Alex. It's Alex on the left.
One and two. Foul tip, and glanced off Grandal, the catcher. Iannetta leading it off here for the Rockies. DJ LeMahieu waiting on deck. Carved foul, will do it again. 1 and 2. It was tied 4-4 into the 7th inning, with the Dodgers with an 8-run 7th. And Kemp in the middle of it. Jock Pederson with a huge day today for LA, including 2 home runs.
And I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Walker Buehler and the way he threw. He didn't have his good stuff. He was in trouble. But he gave the Dodgers 5 innings, and he held the Rockies at bay. Only that 2nd inning allowed 4 runs. Really, if you're going to give a win to anybody today, that would be the guy.
Full count to the leadoff hitter here, Chris Iannetta, pinch hitting.
The Rockies, you just go back, you regroup, throw this thing away, come out tomorrow ready to go and win a ball game.
Popped up right side of the infield. Austin Barnes just into the game. A stride on the outfield grass. Handles out number 1.
Second baseman.
So 1 out, and DJ LeMahieu coming up. A double back in the 2nd inning to drive in 2. What has been a 1-for-4 day for LeMahieu. Play for LeMahieu to go the other way with Kike Hernandez, the center fielder now for the Dodgers, into right center. Did he go? Yeah, he did. I'm going to check. Home plate umpire Nick Lentz said he went. You didn't think so, and it's 0-2. Lentz hearing it a little bit from the Rockies dugout, looked over in that direction.
8-run game, probably not going to get the benefit of a check swing.
To LeMahieu. Well, Cuevas waiting on deck. Cuevas coming into the game and taking over in center field for Charlie Blackmon. 0-2 is grounded towards Taylor right around the bag at second. 2 down in the 9th inning.
center fielder, number 56, Noel Cuevas.
Two-way, and Cuevas coming up here now for the Rockies. Hudson has now retired the last 5 Rockies in a row. Wild swing and a miss.
Not often you're going to come to Coors Field and build some confidence from a pitching standpoint. Hudson right now, though, you mentioned doing the job, and really any contact, it hasn't been hard hit stuff.
Only had 2 hits since the 3rd inning. Combination of Buehler, Baez, Alexander. Yeah, now Hudson. Meanwhile, the Rockies bullpen in this game not good. Exception of Musgrave, who finally quieted the Dodgers offense. Bounding ball to Taylor, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 9th inning. The Dodgers have taken the first 2 games of this series and beat the Rockies today 12-4 in Denver. We will step aside and come back to Coors Field, where the Dodgers have beaten the Rockies 12-4. Back after this.